The next step is we are going to be combining these pieces to make a hollow box structure. The thing I want to tell you about first, after you cut your pieces and you're letting those dry out a little bit, you're going to take your extra clay, you're going to break it up into small pieces and put it in your recycle clay bag. Just like this, small pieces. And once you've put, you can't put big pieces like that, they have to be small. You're going to use this clay to sculpt an animal at the end of this project. And so we want the clay to stay wet. And the way that we do that is you just put it in here and you spray a couple of times and wrap that up. The other thing that you need to do is you need to spray the bag of clay and cover that. Clay dries out very quickly, and once it's dry, you can't work with it until you recycle the clay back together. I want you to get a nice wet sponge and clean off the dowel and clean off these 3/8 inch sticks. It's important to keep dust down in a ceramic studio. The dust is not good for your lungs, so we clean everything up with a wet sponge. So put those aside. Now, what you're going to do is take your wall. This is your base. You have a tool here. It's a serrated rib tool. And in order to get clay to stick to itself, you have to serrate the edges. So what I'm going to do is serrate all 4 sides on my base. I don't put this on the side, I put it on top. And I'm going to serrate that edge. What this does is it creates a Velcro-like surface and it allows the clay to stick together. The next thing that you're going to do is take some slip. And what that is, it's a liquid clay. It's like glue. And you're going to, with your toothbrush, don't use your toothbrush, with your paintbrush, you're going to apply some slip to that edge. And you're going to put that on like this. Okay. And that's a good layer of slip. And then what you're going to do is take a little tool and you're going to stitch that, and just be very gentle with the stitch. And what you're doing is you're helping to combine the clay. I'll then serrate the edge like this, okay? And then I flip my tool over and I'll smooth that out. Now we'll be able to smooth that out a little bit more as we go. I'm gonna let you see the inside. You can see that there is some slip in there, but I also like, for each edge, I like to roll out with my hands a long piece of thin clay, just a snake. So go back to the days that you played with Play-Doh. And you can just stitch that on. You want to smooth it out. And what I'll do is I feather that one way and then feather the other. So I'm scoring and scoring. You want to get up close to that so they can see that. So score. You want to keep that nice right angle. All right, and then what I do is I will smooth that out and smooth. And you can use your thumb. Okay, and so now that is connected really well. The next step is to do this side. And so here I'm looking at this and I can see that this edge is a little higher than this, and that's okay right now. So if I turn this over, you can see that's a little bit higher. We'll cut that down, or if you want to, you know, you can wait, we'll wait until the very end to see what is higher. Maybe this is the only one that's a little bit lower. So I'm going to score. Remember, each edge has to be scored. So I'll put this here, score, score. And actually I'll go ahead and score this side too. Paint with slip. press that on, and I go through the next step. So I stitch it down, really press these together. The big thing with slabs is that the joints want to pull apart. And so it's very important to take those tools to stitch, right, to add the clay into that area. And I think that looks messy, so I take my tool, smooth it out. And with clay, there's always a different tool to do the same thing, so you can experiment. Okay, I'll work on that a little bit more and smooth that out some more. And then I'll do it to the other side, and then the next step is to add here. And we do the same thing with this side here, and then the top. And ultimately what you're gonna have at the end of class is a box that looks like this. And then the next class, I'm gonna show you how to cut a lid design, and we're going to cut that lid off and make an animal for this sculpture. You can create your box to be horizontal in placement or vertical in placement. But that is where, this is where I want you to be at the end of class.